Right, I think we're there. I think we've started. Welcome to the show, Dodgy Git Show. What we at? 254 live and direct here from the wonderful place we call England. Hey, welcome to the show again. Haven't been back for a while. Last time I was wearing a Fred Flintstone and Dino t-shirt, but yeah, it's you know, we thought we'd come back and do another show because we got kicked off of TikTok after about 3 minutes. If you haven't already, don't forget go over to TikTok there and you know check out the Dodgy Git show there. There's loads and loads. That's what I've been doing every day. You see, because YouTube became so difficult. Yeah, it was. It was. They're telling me I need 50 subscribers, but I've got 340 subscribers on here, so I don't really get what their problem is. I don't get what the point is that I need to address to go live on a phone. Bit bizarre, really. I'm on the old pepper doctor rather than coffee this evening. But yeah, I've been trying to get that going on TikTok. We got quite a few now. Let's have a little look. Like I say, if you haven't been over there, definitely, if you haven't got the app, you have to fling that on your old dog and bone, haven't you? Find the Dodgy Git show on there. There's I got almost, what has I got? 4,939 followers. So if I can do it on there, I can do it on here too, can't I? If only the algorithm lets me, you see. Apparently I swear too much. I think that's one problem. Yeah, I swear and I swear they don't like it. Yeah. Shout out to girl named Lisa on TikTok. She just asked me, what happened? Did you get bumped again? And I'll put, yep, F knows. Loading up YouTube now, but the software update just crashed me. Yeah, I had to redo my software, and then it still failed me. So I don't quite know where we're at with that. But yeah, definitely go over there, check out. I've had loads of profile views today. What? 164 people have viewed my profile in the last hour. Yeah, and yeah, got a few new. Oh, I've got a few new followers from 29 minutes ago. So let's go have a look. Yeah, is it updating me? Let's have a butcher's. 4,939 followers over there on TikTok. But yeah, it's generally just a chat. Yeah. Oh, I've got to put another one on there. It's generally just a chat. We're just having a chinwag, and they don't seem to like it much, and I don't really understand why. Hang on. You have to listen to this one as I upload it. I'll just put live on YouTube, and then we'll get on with the show. There you go. There's me. There's me cursing. Hang on. Well, if there's anything you want to talk about, yeah, and you're live, if you're live, the chat box is open, yeah. So have a chinwag if you've got something to discuss, a point of conflict or resolution we can work on. Oh, 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 see, there's me talking about a book. That's quite interesting, actually. The use of vowels in language and how it's evolved over the years. There's definitely one I talk about quite a lot over there. But yeah, we got loads to talk about, eh? We've seen a couple of demonstrators get kicked out. I've got to lose my notes, otherwise I'll lose my head. It's not much notes either, but yeah, a couple of people got kicked out of the old Starmer Trump frigging King Charles dinner, didn't they? They started screaming and shouting, and they got flung out. One geezer got dragged out by his hands and feet, but there you go. Well, you You can't really turn up at a dinner like that and expect to just start acting like a lunatic, can you? Eh? I'm sure you would have selected the people quite wisely. So, probably be a few people tomorrow that might struggle to pay the mortgage next month, eh? Yeah, especially they got themselves in a corner with it all, eh? People do with mortgages, don't they? Eh? But no, we sit here. The missus is busy. She's watching a show this evening with her friend. Yeah, a friend comes over and they watch this foreign show together. You know, it's, I can't understand it. I just leave them to it. Yeah, just say yeah. I'll see you later. Like, go back to the pit. It's funny. So we got to occupy ourselves here, but I'm certainly not watching the normal television that I haven't watched for at least 5 years now. I can't deal with it. It's just absolute tripe. So I make my own stuff on here for a laugh and a pastime, innit? That's all it is. But it is the old mainstream media. They've lost humanity has lost faith in it completely. They just don't. They're not listening anymore. Yeah. And then when they come up with some lies about the free speech festival, yeah, it's incredible. There was the biggest turnout ever in London for it was a festival of free speech, because old Charlie Kirk got freaking zapped, didn't he, by another lunatic. He needs to be educated and spoken to like out the back, like. But yeah, all these people were so sick and tired of it, of what the government and the mainstream media keeps trying to sell us. They sell us lies all the time, and even the wordplay and the poetry coming out of this, it's just disgusting. About 3 million people allegedly turned up at this freaking free speech festival. There were 9 arrests. Yeah, I could see at least 3 of them were caused by the police pushing people. Yeah, if you haven't already, go and check out DJE Media. Yeah, he's a great vlogger. Having a bit of an argument at the moment with some other dude, AY Audits or something. They keep slagging each other off, but it's quite peculiar. But there was some interesting footage that DJ got. He was stood between the what were they calling them? The Antifa lot, shall we say. There's a load of protesters like the Antifa side. Yeah, and then these free speech festival goers. Yeah. But the police come in the middle of it. And they wanted the one march to go one way, so they pushed the other festival goers. They pushed them all back. And as they pushed them back, a few people fell over. So they arrested them for falling over in the street. Fucking ridiculous. Was ridiculous. So they pushed all this festival back and then let these freaking left-wing lunatics, and you should see the frigging, there were some fucking funny people on that side. It's like all the oddballs, all the fucking, and it was to me, in my opinion, from what I could see, everybody on that side is fucking weird, really fucking weird, and they are the extremists. Yeah, they'd be the first ones to get launched off of somewhere, if things carry on the way they are and law gets implemented the way certain demographic want it to, the whole place will end up in a shithole again and there won't be any left of anything. It will be highly conservative or you get launched off the car park. That's literally the narrative that's being sold to you. So this free speech festival was highly important. It was really important that people turned out en masse, and they did. 3 million, allegedly. But what do the mainstream media say? Oh, the highest number I've seen so far was 150,000. But they're okay showing a pro-Palestinian march filling the bridge and say that there's 500,000 there. Well, this free speech festival covered London. There were multiple roads chock a block with people, there were so many on the bridge that they thought the freaking safety of the bridge was going to be compromised. It was quite humorous. But yeah, they just sold you a lie again, trying to say there's a few 100,000. No, there was millions of people there, millions, and it's just put the wind up the government. Yeah, everybody thinks a certain person's an anchor with a W at the beginning. Yeah, yeah, but it was the police. They created the problem. I've seen multiple videos from multiple angles, and the riot police came in and started a riot. Well, they didn't actually start a riot, they just pushed a load of people over. And the peaceful festival goers all shunted back. Yeah, they gave the police what they wanted and allow all these lefty freaking extremist nut jobs. And they would, believe you me, go and watch DJ's video. So nutcases, lunatics, the most extreme of extremes, and on every extreme. And half, to be quite honest, half of them were freaking grannies that watch the BBC. That's the other thing. The ones that say, oh no, I don't watch ITV, I don't like that, so they only watch a certain programme. They're literally limiting themselves again, isn't it? And it's crazy. It's got nuts, to the point where literally the common man now, common man, common woman, freaking people, Middle England, is just rejected it. You just say, I'm not listening anymore. The geezer and the freaking media are completely, they've lost the plot. They've also lost millions and millions in income as everybody refuses to pay their TV licence, yeah? Me being one of them. And no, I'm not going to interact with them at all. I'm not going to tell them I don't need a licence, yeah? That's like telling the geezer down the shop I don't need cat food. Well, I'll tell him I don't need cat food by not buying it. He's not going to send me a letter saying you need to tell me you don't like cucumbers. It's like, no, it don't work like that, and it's never going to. It's like trying to deal with the energy company. Yeah, I paid my bill the other day and it's come up on the app that I had a certain amount of whatever it was. And then I look at it the next day and it's gone up by 100 quid. And I'm like, how's that happened? And you try to email them. And what he did was, this person that I was emailing, getting responses from, he threatened me with blackmail. He said, if you want this, you need to call us. I said, no, I'm not going to call you because I don't trust what is going to be said on the phone. There's no accountability on a telephone call, is there? That's why people in business email each other, so it's on record, and that's it. It's traceable, it's transparent, and it's accountable. Phone calls don't work anymore because people tell fibs, yeah, or they turn around and tell their boss, oh, he said this, so I did that. And it's a ploy, but I won't be blackmailed into communicating with anybody. Certainly won't be threatened, but what there is a financial implication to it, you see. If you don't do this, we won't remove that. It's like, no, I'm communicating with you here. You can bloody well do what is legally fucking your obligation to do and remove that. Yeah, I've told you, I've asked you, I've freaking pointed out exactly what I'm talking about, and they try to change the title on the email. The subject bar, they change it. So I told him, don't change the email bar, you're bastardising the thread. You're purposely manipulating the ability to be accountable. And they'll do anything. They're squirming. It's like an oily snake, isn't it? Trying to deal with an oil snake. It's lost the faith of the country. The country have no faith in the systems anymore. This is what a lot of my TikToks are about. Is rewriting systems. Yeah, the system functionality doesn't work anymore, and it needs to be thrown away and rewritten so it does function. I made one. I've actually put the short onto or the video onto YouTube. Actually, I just uploaded that. Let's have a look. It's about my parish councillor, or it's actually my Mrs. Parish Councillor, because we cross borders like. But this parish councillor put this piece of paper through everybody's door. She's paid. She's used parish money to have these leaflets printed out and put them through everybody's door, saying that we need to change the speed limits in the village. They're like, you read the document, yeah? In fact, I should go and get that, yeah? 20 seconds, wait there. I'm back, I'm coming. Yeah. Here we go, thanks for waiting. Please, this little bit of paper, yeah? Please help to make our roads safer by supporting this campaign. So it's a campaign, yeah? We will be trying to visit every resident soon to ask you to sign a petition for the county council as part of this application. So they're actually going to come round and harass you at your doorstep. If you have any questions or suggestions, please contact this person or this other person, and they've proudly put their councillor names down there. Thank you for your help. And it says 20 miles an hour from a roundabout to pass this load of allotments entrance and to the end of a housing estate that they built on the end of another road and didn't put a crossing in or any paths to it, yeah? So the kids and the people trying to get to the allotment or the bus stop are having issues, yeah? And the issues is there's no path and there's no buses that go from the bus stop. And she put 30 mile an hour past this bit and 50 mile an hour to here or there. And she's put all this fucking silly drawing on it. Now here's her campaign. Now listen to this complete bullshit coming out of the parish. Limiting vehicle speeds to 20 mile an hour is widespread in the UK and Europe. This aims to improve road safety through reducing road traffic collisions. Right. Well, it might be widespread, but that's because you're being allowed to get away with it, yeah? And the aim may be to improve road safety, but the roads we're talking about have had no incidents on them. The only incident on the road was the fact that there wasn't a crossing there or any paths was used at a local parish meeting to as a reason to turn down a planning application for another housing estate, right? So this is why they're doing it, yeah? And it goes on to say in the second paragraph, introducing 20 mile an hour zones can also benefit physical and mental health. No, it doesn't. She put encouraging cycling and walking. Well, you can cycle anyway because there's a road there, and the walking can't be done unless you're in the road. So until she focuses her parish council funds on putting a path in, we're going to have a problem with walking, full stop. Yeah? She's put in brackets, socialisation of walking to school. Well, there is no path. It's not going to improve the socialisation of walking whatsoever. Yeah, people walking around with headphones on all the time and sat at a bus stop with headphones on, aren't they? Eh? She thinks, and this is the fucking illusion of it, introducing 20 mile an hour zones, yeah, improve air quality and reduce noise pollution. Well, it's a road. If you live by a road, expect road noise. Just because you've bought a house, yeah, that's like buying a house by an airport and then complaining that airplanes go over your house. I've had that one before, yeah. Seriously, like people try to get away with that. Improving air quality. Well, that's not actually true, because you burn twice as much fuel at 20 miles an hour as you do at 50 to cover the equivalent. It's less efficient, isn't it? The optimum speed for a vehicle is between 45 and 55 miles an hour. Yeah. It also overcomes the tyre friction. Yeah. For any future applications to succeed, we need to show that this is supported by the majority and reflects the views of the residents. Any future applications, what she means there is the housing estate. Yeah. She's put, we need to slow traffic to 30 miles an hour just before a nursery. Yeah. A garden centre, she means. Yeah. Because it isn't just a nursery. They sell other things, including fish and chips, pick and mix. There's a hardware store in there, and lots of other things, yeah. And then she's put 20 mile an hour from the high street to a roundabout at the end of some houses, yeah. So she's trying. There's this stupid little map with, and it's really poorly presented again. She's literally 20 miles an hour everywhere. Which, I get her point, yeah, but what she's trying to sell is lies, yeah, yeah. Improving air quality isn't true, yeah. Road safety, well, there wasn't a problem, yeah, apart from there's no path and no crossing. There's never been an actual incident on the road whatsoever, yeah. Although I have had children recently waving from the side of the road, you know, as you try to just go past at your regular freaking speed, like. Kids distracting drivers waving their arms around. You know, what's your point, kids? If you've got a point, go and have a word with the parish councillor about the point, which is put a path in, yeah, and a crossing, yeah. But again, it goes right back to the illusion everybody's swallowing. But she's now going to come and harass people to try and get a planning application for a housing estate passed by bastardising the road. And it is. I can't see any freaking other reason for it. I looked up quite a few graphs to do with efficiency of vehicles, engine, tyre wear, speed, aerodynamics, all the rest of it. And all of it, with this 20 thing, is all to do with electric cars that weigh twice as much and wear out your tyres twice as quickly. And a lot of them have actually got thinner wheels. Yeah, you might have a big wheel, might have some 20-inch rims. Yeah, but they're only 195 wide, aren't they? Yeah, they're not 245. Yeah, if you know anything about tyres. So there's one set of points, isn't it? Lunatics screaming at the lovely dinner Trump was invited to by somebody that said he'd never have him for dinner. Yeah, police creating a right old ruckus in support of left-wing lunacy, and the mainstream media lying to everybody about figures of people in attendance. If they're lying about the big things, they're lying about the little things as well, yeah, like these parish councillors are. And they disgust me, and they disgust most of the country, which is, like I say, why we need to rewrite things. Need to get the functionality of the system back on track again. At the moment, we've fucking lost the plot. Another thing I cover quite a lot on TikTok is to do with humans, isn't it? Yeah, see, I've seen quite a few people on TikTok there as I'm scrolling through. There's quite a lot of addicts on there trying to use TikTok as a creation tool and a distraction from the frustration they find themselves in. And it is. What do you do when you're recovering? Because you used to lay there in a mess and time used to just pass by. And now they don't know what to do with themselves, so they make TikToks. Well, I can see why, yeah. A lot of them have got quite a few amount of followers, yeah. But they're on their sobriety journey. And it's interesting to see. It is interesting to see, yeah, how people are dealing with it. How and why people have decided to give up. There's a lot of smackheads on there, there's a lot of crackheads on there, there's a lot of alcoholics on there. And they've all said, I've had enough of it. I'm grown up now, I'm going to end up freaking killing myself on this shit. The party is over. As I see rave music's coming back again. Yeah. See, people want to party again, don't they? Yeah. But it is interesting seeing these people in recovery. They finally said, I've had enough of abusing myself and being abused by people who are abusing themselves. Yeah, they're finding themselves a new group of friends and a new group of things to think about and to do. And yeah, seen quite a few single mothers struggling as well. They've been kicked out for various reasons and they're sat there alone with a very small young child, and you're like, how are you going to sort it out, love? Because so far you thought you was a right old clever dick and now you're in the shit. Yeah, so this whole thing about sobriety is true, isn't it? As I read, and I'll just go to the bottom of my notes for this one, you see, as I say that we're sold bullshit from people for an awful long time, not just in the mainstream media, but from the doctors, you see. That's when all this shit started. People have had enough of listening to people selling them lies. And the doctors, we know, sold the lies, didn't they? They did. They did what they were told, you know, just like people did in World War II, wasn't it? Yeah. So the doctors did as they're told, and people don't believe them anymore. And there's, well, okay, we'll start with that one. People addicted. How do the doctors help? There's a lot of doctors say, oh, we should just exercise. But what they don't do is give you enough information about that. Because there's a lot of people out there that like old smoking the old, you know, what is it, devil's cabbage, isn't it? Yeah. People used to think it was cool, didn't they, for a long time? Yeah, man, I'm fucking stoned. And they used to think that for a long time. But in actual fact, it's to do with endocannabinoids in your system, isn't it? People understand. Oh, excuse me. I've had a long day, believe you me. People started to understand what chemicals are, what they do to you. Yeah, which ones you need and which ones our human body actually has a system for. And we all have an endocannabinoid system in our body. And the levels of those endocannabinoids released, or, you know, how they function in our bodies, are actually released when we exercise. So a lot of these people finding themselves addicted or giving up and recovering may find that by exercising they'll get that crap out of their system quicker, or they'll end up releasing endocannabinoids into their endocannabinoid system, and they'll actually get what they call the runner's, what is it, the runner's high, isn't it? Okay? People come back off a run and they're like, oh yeah, this is great, oh it's wonderful. Why is it wonderful? Why do you get that euphoria? It's the endocannabinoids in your system, but the doctors won't tell you that for shit. Just like I was watching watching a video on here to do with iron deficiency. My youngest doesn't always eat what she should. She eats what looks boring and plain, just eating white food, white bread, white pasta, white rice. Doesn't eat any colourful foods, but it's her age, really. I went through a similar thing. But she's iron deficient. And I always wondered, why is she iron deficient? Said, oh, you should eat a steak. She goes, oh no, I don't like red meat. Oh, we should eat this. Oh, I don't like that. And any old excuse. Anyway, she got to a point where she was dangerously iron deficient. But I was just watching this thing, like I say on here. The girl got her iron deficiency down to 7 by lack of information. She went through all sorts of things with her doctors, trying to give her this and trying to give her that. And she said, what I actually did was started drinking orange juice. Because it wasn't the fact my body wasn't receiving enough iron through whatever it was she was eating. She was getting plenty of iron into her system, but she wasn't able to release it properly because she didn't have, she wasn't drinking orange juice. Her vitamin C was low. So because she didn't have the vitamin C, she wasn't able to allow her body to extract the iron that's required and dump it where it's supposed to be in her body. And she said, well, for some miraculous reason, from having an iron deficiency so low as having a reading of 7 when it should be naturally 80, she started drinking orange juice every day, and she ended up with an iron reading of 86, slap bang in the middle of normal, because she was drinking orange juice, proper orange juice every day. She was taking in vitamin C. But the doctors didn't tell her that in 10 years of her suffering that. She lacked other vitamins. So she could have eaten freaking raw steak all day, every day, and she'd still be iron deficient because she wasn't drinking vitamin C. So it's incredible what you can learn when you start studying things and listening to people's stories. But listening to the mainstream media and, paid for doctors that only want to sell you a product or sell your health into a system that is continually failing everybody, it's again a reason to readdress the functionality of systemic failure. If a system keeps failing over and over again, you've got to ask why. And like I say, some of this show is to do with human resolution, the human condition we suffer, the denial of facts that many go through. They'll do anything to resist a change. But as children, as babies, we try to walk and we fall flat on our face. First action in learning, FAIL, is to fail. First action in learning, failure. But as a child, we learn not to fail by changing what we're doing until we learn to walk, and then run, and then swim and ride a bike and cycle. Well, that is cycling, riding a bike. Ice skate, rock climbing, learn to drive cars, and then it all goes to shit. No. But we're sold crap all the time, and people keep swallowing it. But we have, I think, got to a point where, much like on these marches, This Antifa lot I refer to, like I said, a lot of them are old white-haired grannies that have cut all their hair off because they really can't be arsed anymore. They don't think they're attractive, they don't find themselves attractive, and they don't think their hair has anything to do with other people thinking that they're attractive. So they've all gone down this route of cutting all their hair short, haven't they? Yeah, because they can't be arsed with it anymore. Yeah, human condition again. It's actual application of effort, you see. But yeah, there are white-haired grannies or freaks of society. Rubber-faced men with fucking turtlenecks. Yeah, there's one of them out there like that. He's a right gormless twat. He was on DJ's freaking thing again from Oxford as well as London. I noticed him in the crowd in London as well. He's a right gormless idiot. And it is, all the extremists. And the thing is, that is all wearing out. People are just, it's wearing thin for people. They can't be arsed with it anymore. And people are starting to unite, aren't they, in Great Britain? And it is common views. We'll still fuck up, and we'll still follow each other like sheep to a degree, but the idea of ridiculousness is now failing, isn't it? Because it doesn't work, it doesn't function, it keeps falling flat on its face, and people can see it over and over again, like the fucking addict. Keep doing the same fucking thing, and you'll end up rotting away. Well, these people are starting to rot away in society, and they're becoming irrelevant to the main now. What is the mainstream? Not the mainstream media, the mainstream narrative of the country as a whole, and the humans that function in it to allow it to function. It needs to be rewritten, just like the parish councillor's bullshit lies about 20 miles an hour being efficient. It's not. To go and harass people on their doorsteps, knowingly that there's an awful lot of people that go, oh hello, yeah, oh you want me to sign there, oh okay, and they sign it, and they don't know what they're fucking signing, they don't know what they're signing it for. And I bet you if you friggin' had this woman turn up at your address and started questioning her, she would get angry and then tell everybody else in the neighbourhood what a horrible person you are for not agreeing with her. But you can't let these people keep getting away with it. Question what the fuck they are doing. And I know, well, you can see blatantly what they're doing. They're trying to implement lies into your environment, into your society, your neighbourhood. And unless you stand up to them, yeah, and say, if I hear fucking from him, her, or her that you've been gossiping about me, yeah, I want you held accountable for it. So make sure you're wearing a body cam when you're doing it, won't you? And make sure that's publicly accessible body cam footage. If DJ Media can do it, the parish fucking councillor can do it, can't she? Yeah, because I don't want any gossips around me. We've had quite a pleasant week at my missus, yeah? Because one certain resident, who is the local toxic gossiping witch, has been on holiday. Yeah, her and her husband are allegedly disabled, but they managed to go away quite a lot in a big camper van. They do, all the time. And him being disabled seems to be able to be quite capable of repairing this camper van continually, making a racket in the fucking street. Yeah, literally parked in the fucking only place he can park his fucking wagon. If anybody else parked, there'd be all hell broke loose. As his missus, who's supposed to be disabled as well, she's grossly overweight with this huge gunt that's been growing the last few years. Yeah, she goes from one person, it's it's an over 55s end of the street type bungalow fucking thing going on. And she goes from one house to the next, toxically gossiping about the previous house. And I know for a fact she is right up the arse of the parish council. Right up their arse. But nobody wants to hold her accountable for claiming what, whilst doing what? Yeah, because she's capable of taking the grass mowing contract off of the housing association that runs that whole end of a street. She's taken all the grass cutting off of them. A young lad across the road, lovely family, yeah. The son was going to go round and cut the lawns for everybody for cheap, like, bit of pocket money. Yeah, that's what I used to do with my brother. Cut freaking grass and wash cars. When we were about 14. Yeah, and we used to make a bit of money, and we'd freaking save our parents having to give us pocket money, and we'd freaking go and spend it on matchbox, cars, Lego, and cigarettes. Yeah, and that's what we used to do. But this lady is so toxic. She refused to allow this young child to cut people's lawns, and now she does it when she chooses, just when she knows that she'll piss everybody off. But this week she's been away, and it's been the most pleasant week. You wouldn't believe. It's been quiet. Yeah, I haven't heard her voice the moment we come home. It is, you come home, I said to the missus, say, give her 10 minutes, I'll hear her fucking voice. Yeah. Well, what I did here the other day, not to gossip like, was 3 other ladies that are really pissed off with her. They've had enough of her. One of them turned around and said, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it out of her mouth anymore. She keeps talking about that person over there and that person over there. I don't need the stress in my life, and I don't want to know what everybody else is doing. She's going to have to wind her fucking neck in. And she will. And personally, I think it's why she left where she was, because she was doing the same thing there. Drip feeding people fucking fibs and lies and personal opinion about things, and toxifying the relationships between everybody else. But what seems to have occurred is this little group of ladies has got together and said, actually, she's the fucking problem. We're pissed off with her gossiping about me to you, and she's talked to you about me and her about her, and we've had enough of it. And why's she doing it? Yeah, she's like a little fucking Nazi. She walks around the estate at 11:30 at night saying, oh, I'm walking my dog. It's like, no, you're not, love. You're inspecting everybody else's shit and making sure you know exactly what every fucking house is doing. And get your ass in your fucking own home. Keep your fucking snout out of everybody else's business. Because it's toxic. Go look it up. Gossip is toxic to an environment and a community. But I'm pretty sure it's why she left where she was. Because people had fucking had enough. And they started to actually gather together and start raising complaints about her. She was so clever, this woman. The dog I own, that was given to me as a gift, actually, yeah, has basically been rescued from a woman that's completely incapable of looking after it. Because what it was a manipulation by this individual to give her something purposefully so that she knew she couldn't look after it, and then she could be the solution to her problem, and said, oh, it's okay, I'll take the dog off your hands then. Yeah, so she's getting other people to pay for her shit. Yeah, she's got this other person to pay a huge amount of money and took a cut herself to supply this fucking woman that's bedridden. Yeah, with a dog that she wanted, only to offer a solution later on and say, "Oh, I can only give you a few quid for it." Where in actual fact, my missus fell in love with him because she kept running up to him when she was there. Yeah. But my missus can't look after him, so I do. She gave him to me as a gift. Yeah. Here, I'll have a dog. It's like, I've told you for years I don't want a dog, and you're giving me a dog. Anyway, I accepted this dog needs some freaking love and attention and training and, management, and I took him on as a gift. Yeah, she had to pay through the freaking nose for him to this old woman, but I bet you it was twice as much as what this other lady would have freaking bought him for. Yeah, reimbursed her for her loss basically. Yeah, and he still gets to see her all the time. Yeah, but this other toxic woman, she's manipulative like that. Yeah, she'll set people up to make a mistake, and in actual fact, the dog was ending up getting abused. Yeah, that was the problem. That's why she did it. Yeah, she didn't care about the dog. She just wanted that dog, but she was willing for the dog to go through shit so that she could get it in the end. But she didn't end up getting it in the end. I got it, and she's insanely jealous. Yeah, she's pissed off at us. Yeah, for finding a solution between the rest of us. Yeah, because he was causing a disturbance, not just to the lady that owned him, but to other people. But this is how toxic people can be to each other. Yeah, how nasty people can set somebody else up and allow the mistreatment of an animal. Yeah, so that she can benefit and then freaking claim that she's all fucking brilliant. It's like, no, love, it don't work like that. We found a solution without you. Yeah, and she didn't like it at all. Yeah, but yeah, I've made a TikTok yesterday about him barking. Yeah, and he does. He bounces along on boings up and down on four paws and shouts at most people he walks by. He didn't actually bark at this geezer this morning. I was quite surprised. He walked right next to his heels as he was walking down the path. He was on the phone and just like turned round and like, "Oh, whose dog's this? He's roaming." But he didn't bark at him. But he barked at the next geezer that came down the street. It's quite funny. Yeah, he's so selective with it. Yeah. But it made a TikTok about how it barked at this lady, and carried on walking like. But she was such a nervous wreck at 80 years old or something, 70, 80 years old. She goes, "Oh, can you put your dog on a lead?" I said, "Well, I could, but he's already down there. And no, I don't really want him anyway. Like, he's already past you. Yeah, and he doesn't live on a lead. Live on a lead, he'd go him in the car or, round the paths or a street or anywhere dangerous. But out in the open countryside, he can go and sniff in the bushes and wipe his face in fox shit for all I care. He's being a dog. Yeah, but he'll still bark at shit. He'll bark at squirrels. Yeah, he barked at a sign that wobbled on a fence yesterday because it shit him up, because he's a bit of a nervous wreck himself, because he's had abuse in his past, you see. That's why you got to give him some allowance sometimes in part of his training as well. Yeah, but he does recall. I call him and he comes back. Yeah. And he's a recovering dog, you see, recovering from abuse brought onto him by other people. Yes, well, I watched quite a few programs to do with dogs and cats being recovered. Yeah, it's a nice guy there, Rocky Kanaka. Rocky Kanaka, he sits with dogs, yeah, in homes, because they can't be groomed or things like that, because they'll bite the bloody person that's trying, because they've been abused. And you look at the faces of some of these dogs as they turn and realise that he's actually a nice person and they don't have to put up with the shit anymore. and they will be cleaned and fed and watered and have somewhere nice and warm to stay. The dog, the animal, soon turns round and shows its true side, yeah, which isn't aggressive, violent, nasty, and abusive. Yeah, we're products of our society. Yeah, just as dogs are. And these poor cats I saw earlier, 2 frozen freaking kittens brought back to life by some Chinese woman, showering them in warm water and using a hairdryer on them that's nice and toasty and warm. Yeah, it was quite nice to see. I like seeing things recover. Yeah, instead of going down a path of fucking no return. Yeah, may it be human beings, cats or dogs. Yeah, that's why I try to feed back. You see. Yeah, proactive, continual, proactive feedback for continual improvement. You see. This is why this counselling needs to be pulled up about her fibs and lies, yeah, and convinced with facts that what she's saying to all these other people is just gossip she's repeating that's coming through the mainstream media government outlets. And she needs to turn the fucking TV off and stop watching crap, yeah, because they just continually, they're repeating what they're hearing without analysing it, without educating themselves about it, and it ends up being complete bullshit. And when you present them with the facts, again, like I said, you talk to her about the facts of efficiency of vehicles, yeah, road safety, freaking housing estates wanting to be put in but no infrastructure as far as paths or fucking traffic lights, yeah, no bus stops or no bus timetables. There's another great one. Yeah, this woman wants to go on about socialising on the buses and the amount of traffic on the road. The bus, here's one for you. The bus to take the kids into town to go to college that starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, runs at 6:45 in the morning or 9:05. So I want this parish councillor to address the bus service, because the amount of parents that have found themselves in a position that they want to educate their children now that they need to be in mainstream education until 18. There's a lot of these parents where I live, where my missus lives, that need to drive their children into town so they can go to college. And they need to drive to town again to pick them up because the buses don't come back when the schools finish. Talk about the school. The local school, I counted 16 coaches in the car park once. 16. Not ideal, perfectly presented bus timetables for the children to get, but 16 privately lined up coaches, because the bus routes aren't in place. There are no bus routes. So they lay on private hire coaches. You imagine how much that costs the school every year. And they try to hand it down to the kids to pay for, and it just makes everything ridiculously expensive. But if this parish councillor wants to take traffic off the road, she can make sure that there's a path, a traffic light system and a crossing, a bus stop that's usable, and buses that turn up regularly. And then there won't be anybody's need to travel on the road. So the implementation of a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, which will just piss everybody off, won't need to be implemented. And everybody will agree with it, not resist it for its stupidity. And once that's been achieved, then the housing estate can be built. You see? You can't put the fucking cart before the horse and then complain the fucking cart is running away down the fucking hill and the horse is at the top going, what the fuck happened there, and jumping around because there's a fucking noise. So the whole system's fucking screwed. Yeah? All I've written here is parish council and MPs need to rewrite the system because they're achieving nothing. And there's a prime fucking example. They want to, affect the motorist. They can just take the need for the motorist to be on the road because they can put a fucking bus at the correct time, in the correct place, with the correct safety measures in place that allows their housing estate to be built to house people, to use the bus, the path, the crossing, and they won't need to use a car, will they? As they fail to put in any kind of infrastructure in the drawing of the plan that got rejected the other day, as far as adequate parking, street design for, what was it, the bin lorry to turn around. They had to have a specific area that was for the bin lorry to turn around, and all that had happened is people would park in it. You ain't getting a traffic warden out here at that time of night. People would park in it straight away, and your bin lorry would be fucked. Yeah, and then you'll say it's everybody else's problem. No, you designed it to be a problem before it was even built. And when people objected to it, you kicked a fucking stink up and said that everybody else is the problem. It's like, no, go back, redraw it, redesign it, and rewrite the fucking functionality of it because it doesn't work. But if you told them that, especially the people like this parish councillor, she'd just stand there and burst into fucking tears and say, you don't like me, you don't like anything I say. It's like, no, you fucked it up. You fell flat on your face. Now pick your ass up off the floor and fucking do it again until you can learn to fucking walk. And I'll continually say the same over and over again until these people get it fucking straight. Which is society, people like me, people like middle fucking England, aren't fucking putting up with it anymore. We are sick to the back teeth of people complaining and throwing themselves on the fucking floor in a teary cry, pathetic fucking mess, embarrassing themselves and us by carrying on the way they are. As I see another lady knock on some neighbour's door on one of the shorts and say, I need £1,000 for the back fence. And the geezer's like, what? She's like, I put up a new fence. You need to pay half of it. It's like, no love, that ain't the way the system works. Yeah? The fence to the left of the property is yours. Yeah? And the fence to the left of my property is mine. So are you telling me you've destroyed my property? Or is it you put me up a new fence for free? Because I ain't paying you shit. Yeah, because you ripped my last one down and didn't ask permission. You see, as people go round and start fucking, what was it she said? Well, I told you I'm making improvements to my garden. It's like, yeah, you can improve your garden. You didn't say anything about fixing the fucking fence, let alone replacing it. Yeah, just because you wanted yours to look all the same, you fucked mine up. This is why a fucking legislation was put in, wasn't it? Eh? I think it's left of the house, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah. The house faces forward. You stand in the front door and look forwards, and you have a left and a right. The left one is your responsibility. The right one is your neighbour's. And that's how it goes all the way down the street. So nobody can have the fucking same fence all the way round unless they fucking talk to their neighbour and discuss the universal fence panels that get produced. Right? So it was funny, yeah. Black lady knocking on this Asian man's door saying, "Give me £1,000. That fence cost me £2,000." I thought, well, in actual fact, no, you're in the wrong, love. But she wasn't having any of it. She wanted to throw her toys out the fucking pram again. Anyway, there we go. There's an hour of me doing another Dodgy Git show, wonderfully presenting my problems with the world to you out there in the great blue yonder, eh? Wherever you are in the world, don't forget, eh? I'm sharing my love with you today, so you got some love in your heart to share about the people you meet, eh? Make sure you talk to your neighbour, and don't forget to do a stranger a favour for nothing, eh? Even if it's highlight the imperfections in little leaflets that get sent around, because they are bollocks. Little leaflets, see, get sent around, and they're full of shit. Yeah. But it was nice to see Keir Starmer at a dinner with Trump, wasn't it, eh? Ha! After all those fucking words, eh? I'm surprised he didn't get knocked the fuck out. But then his wife did come out at the meeting at the end of the day. Looked like she just had her fucking face fucked, but there you go. Eh? Somebody's fucking sucking somebody off somewhere else, isn't they? Eh? But that's the way fucking cookie crumbles sometimes, isn't it? Eh? Eh? Make sure you don't fucking, put up with any bullshit anymore from any politicians that are full of shit. Remember, they're all clowns. They're all clowns in a tent. The tent is in a field that you will never, ever meet the owner of. Until next time, everybody, share the love, stay in touch. Don't forget, go TikTok. Yeah? If you haven't got TikTok on your phone, on your Black Mirror, yeah, download it and find the Dodgy Git Show. Yeah? Like, share, and subscribe here if you would on YouTube, and yeah. See you in the next one.